at the end we are just all getting ways to go back to the nature, because I mean we are nature, we belong to nature, we were in nature, and then we decide, no, let's get apart from nature. So it's pretty nice that the project is, I mean, it has to be in places like Hennes and Albanese or Monchique, because this is, we are surrounded by nature. When you live in, I don't know about London, you live in London, right? Cambridge, sorry. When you live in a big city, or Lisbon, or Helsinki, you are apart from the nature. So you live in streets with blocks of flats, houses, and yes, you are in a house, you have this huge television to watch Netflix or films or whatever, you pick up your instrument, you go to the studio, so there's absolutely no connection. Oh, yes, maybe you see some David Attenborough nature things, so, because nature is not out there, it's quite far. And all these things about going back to nature. And this relation is quite nice. I mean, but if we think about music, I would say music started in nature. I mean, as a primitive species, we were just making noises, then singing, then hitting some stones, then making some flutes. But all of that was out in nature. And some may realize that, oh, if I play or I sing in the cave, the sound is great, so let's go to the cave and sing there. So we started to have this notion of acoustics and how to perform better. But it was always something natural to do. I mean, I want to sing, I will sing. Not all the time like Salseios, but not, I mean, but yes, we can sing outdoors, we can sing. And then we got back to these buildings we were doing, like churches, and realizing, oh, maybe if we want to have a choir, maybe inside the church will sound better. So all the church was built to have these great acoustics, not only to listen the priests talking, but also for the singers, choirs, the organ, and so on and so on. And then we got backwards, realizing, I mean, backwards forwards, it doesn't matter, it's just a matter of notion. Going to the pure sound, so we want to go to the studio, to the isolated studio, to have the sound pure, which is just one wave coming from some producer of sound. It's not the sound itself, because I mean, the sound is not just the wave, it's the surrounding with the wave as well. But we are just isolating that waveform and putting in a computer or a tape or whatever in the studios. And this is also, and because we are doing this thing of going back to nature and using the nature not only as a place to do it, but also using the sounds of the nature itself to do the recordings. But one of the outputs of the project should be, are we influencing someone afterwards? I mean, will people change some minds? And we invited Rafael, he's going to talk now, because he's from a professional school, Ethic Algarve, and obviously they teach young people to work with, there's many fields in the school, but one of them is about sound. So I suppose you don't take students out to nature to do some recordings, but I mean, we all know that when you are learning how to do some sound, you need to go on stages, for example, for festivals, and that's outdoors as well. So it's not just about being inside the studio. So Rafael will now...
Is alguma coisa? Como é a ideia? São JPEGs.
Why action first?
I'll explain.
Thanks for knowing the reference.
So we know we have to make images.
Hi, my name is Rafael. I will start by the name I was given when I started trying to make some music, and this is not a chosen name. It was given by my friends, and I don't even know why was that, but it really came from the animation, G.I. Joe's, and at the time I was having fun. I was trying to make music as I was listening in some of the records I was trying to mimic that without information, without knowing how to find that information, just by sound. And my first instrument and my main instrument is a turntable. I bought in '98 my first turntable and mixer, and I was trying with some software, production software, some old back in the days software, and it was really having fun. Just that I was studying in another area. I think I can say I'm a musician. It's my main profession, but I was an architect for half of this time, and basically I switched because I think I was happier making music than architecture. But I think it's really, as we were talking about some different areas, being artistic areas, have some crossing points. I really think architecture, it's part of the same way of thinking that I use in making music, because it's all about in architecture. I think we work with light mainly. It's the main source of inspiration, and here the light is present. The sound, the environment is really important. But so I started trying to. It was not DJing, because I didn't want to do a DJ set, to play music. It was all about doing some sound with the turntable. My influence was scratching, and that's why it's my instrument, and not at that time I think it was not seen as an instrument, but nowadays I think we can all relate. We can make music with a turntable. After that, when I started to do some artistic stuff, because it's not only music, I do photography, video, even in architecture. I started to feel that I needed a brand, or something to can put in the records to sign. And I found this name, and I use it till today. And this is my brand to everything that I make original. Now when I DJ, I use the G.I. Joe, so I can separate what I create when I'm playing music from other person. And in Algarve, because I studied in Lisbon, but I came back to Algarve because I was feeling that this part of the country was more inspiring, and it was not really easy to be here at that time making music, even electronic music or hip hop music, or it was really in the beginning in this area of the country. So I'll try it. And then I started working with other people, because I was never a person to work alone, and even if I can make music only with a computer, I always prefer to make it with other people, and even if it's not easy to me to go out of my comfort zone and to explore areas that I'm not so used to. I've known a lot of people in Algarve, and not only in Algarve making music, and at some point we needed a structure to make it more professional, and so we could put the music outside with more quality, and we had the idea to put a team with designers, photographers, videographers, and we made a studio, a recording studio, and we called it Quimera. And after that, we changed. We also added. Now it's a label, and we can do it from the point zero to an album, and we can help other artists to it's the one of the oldest completely independent labels in Portugal, one of the only in Algarve still working since we created, and now it's more for the client. We also have some artists that still work with Quimera, but in the first 10 years we were a label to the artists in the label. Just started working to clients after some time. The studio is in Armação de Pera, which is a city near Silves, near to the coast, and it's a recording studio focused on that, and we learned a lot in that process. We have our first connection maybe with Carlos in a radio in Faro, which is UFM. It's the university radio, and I have a program there. I don't know when it started, but I think it has like 15 years now, and it still makes me to go digging some new music weekly, and it's important to me to keep it, even if it's a small radio, but I think it's a way to communicate with people in Algarve mainly, and having me forced to look to new music every week. Here is the part that Carlos was talking about. This is the name of the school that was that started in Algarve. This is Ethic have a school in Lisbon, and they open in Algarve first in Portimão. It's my city, and then they changed it to Faro, and there they started the sound courses that I was in the beginning. I was with another person, Luís Rocha. We were trying to make the adaptation from the courses from Lisbon to Algarve, because it's a different reality. And now I'm doing the coordination of the courses, the sound courses. But now I think we have done some different approaches, really trying to make it make sense in Algarve, because it's a different market, it's a different environment, and the students really need to be prepared. So, because here we have half the year with a lot of tourism, with a lot of work. Half the year it's not like that, and what we was thinking about is because in Lisbon you have the technical part, the sound engineer part, and you have the creative part separately, and we tried to make one fusion of that, so our students can really work as a sound engineer in the summer where it's a lot of work, and in the winter they can go and make some music if they want, or help someone to make music. And that was the goal for our changing in the courses. And we have some part of the classes that we try to make the students go outside and try to record outside, so they can use it as a creative part of the process. But this idea that we have here, it's very inspiring to talk to them, because I think the comfort of being in front of the computer, of the desk, the new kids really are used to it, and we try to make them see that they can have great inputs if they change the environment, and if they are not all using the same loops and the same sounds, and they can be more creative, more they can have more identity, and they can be more related to the place they are. Okay. So this is the last slide, and in this 20 years, I was making music outside of the Chimera studio. That was a recording studio. I don't record that much in the studio. I record it if I have to. I prefer to make the music and to try to make the ideas. So I felt the need to make my own studio, and now I have a second studio in Portimão, which is a production studio, which is not very normal because we don't record, we only produce ideas. We don't work a lot with commercial publicity. That's normally the production studio's main base, but we try to work with music and artists, which is fun but not easy because it's not a big market here. But I think it's very fun, and I still want to have fun making music. And I made this studio in Portimão, and it's been great because now I'm producing albums from pop to jazz to electronica to make many sonic palettes, and I try to make it fun for me and to the people that works with me, and it all goes around, and I think I'm near to the beginning now, because I think when we are trying to achieve some new idea, we are really trying to bond and to connect with the people that we are working, and I rarely do music alone now, and this is really fun. I just want to show you, if I can, one project that I've made, because I think it will make sense in this
I can see it's professional, he's using the key shortcuts.
Yay. Let's go record.
Okay, so this album, I just want to talk about this because this was an album I made with now a friend of mine, which is João Frade, is from Algarve too, from Albufeira. He plays accordion. And we tried to put Algarve in some different moods and don't have boundaries while we were doing this. We really made the music to the stage. We first did the tour, and only after that we made a record. And it all started with some field recordings. The thing we knew was the places that we wanted to record, and I used that to make a great part of the electronic that I used, using brains, using some little snaps of the sounds, and even more texture backgrounds, some old recordings from the chants from the fishermen workers, and the record started like that. And I think if you hear it, it's a mix of electronic and jazz, but it has some Algarve in it. João Frade, the recordingist, is really a talented guy, and he he made the traditional music from Algarve and rearranged it to fit my input. And yeah, I think it works like a fusion from Algarve with nowadays sounds and the technique more electronic with more field recording mixing. To finish, I have a studio full of machines. I have another studio with great recording capacity, but once a week I really need to have a small machine and go near to the beach and make music there, because it's where I really have the ideas out of that box that we were talking. Thank you.
Have you made tutorials about MIDI keyboards and the looping into YouTube?
If I made...
Have you made tutorials on YouTube about MIDI looping and the MIDI keyboards?
Yeah.
Yes, because I have watched it. Thank you, by the way.
That's a good question. Students thinking about how do they respond to going out doing field recordings? How do they respond to that?
Mainly, the students are open to, they are in the time to be open to new ideas and to learn, but it's not always easy if it's too general to them, if they don't see the result. So we start showing them results, and then now we go outside and you try to make it, and it works.
So they take the photos and they just record any sound they want, and
Yeah.
then you take on those sounds?
In the first time, they go and learn to record outside, to even to work with the colleagues from video. They learn the technical part. After that, they have some creative projects where they go outside and just record, and then we'll see. Yeah.
It's an interesting way to do it. That's a good way to do it, because you get engaged with the vibe, but also when you back doing something with technologies that are similar.
Yes. And I think after normally they go there with a bow and with some musical idea, but in there, when they meet other ways of making music from other students or professors, they normally change a bit. And I have 3 persons in my studio now. They were my students, and they are better than me.
That's the best in education, when you teach your students so well that they become better than you, so you're doing a good job.
Yeah, I try. So I can be less in the studio when they're working.
I love that we have to connect, because I'm teaching sound art in the university in Munich, and maybe they can come to visit your school somehow, so that we can bring some students over here.
Yeah, it would be great.
It's very small, it's only 8 students maximum, so don't be afraid.
Yeah, they are very small.
Yeah, they are very small.
They're small
yeah.
people.
Yeah. They fit into a hand luggage.
Yeah.
Some people pretend they don't even see them.
We call them gnomes.
So
Okay.
is the field trip we are doing tomorrow, is that seeing your studios? Or is that there is some preliminary program, or does that program no longer exist? I don't
There
know.
is no field trip tomorrow.
Okay. So the
No, that was
program.
initially the program, but we just changed
Okay.
Yes, up.
Okay.
it. You can go for a walk. Out in the rain.
Yeah, no,
But
I
a
would
field,
love to.
maybe up.
I would love to see the studios. That's why I'm asking.
No, it's not here, it's in Faro. It's in
Ah.
Faro, Mação.
Portimão.
Far away.
My name Portimão is not very far. It's half an hour. But whenever you
Yeah.
want to visit,